Stay tuned for the biggest fish, the hottest bites, this week here on In-Depth Outdoors. With James Holst.
Look at that. Wow, is that an incredible fish?
And the rest of the IDO fishing team. We're headed to the best fisheries across the upper Midwest and Canada. We'll fish longer, explore unfished bodies of water, and go further off the beaten path in search of the hottest bites in fresh water. With Pat McSherry.
All right, what a fish.
And Andy Fiolka.
Wow. Get the colors on this fish.
This is In-Depth Outdoors.
Good morning, everyone. I'm James Holst with In-Depth Outdoors, and today is the first episode of our 12th season of broadcast here on Fox Sports North. And we've got big plans for the upcoming season. Of course, Mother Nature has forced our hand a little bit. We usually start our season out in the boat, but because of the early onset of winter, we're going to actually go right to the ice. Now, prior to the filming of this week's episode, we've covered quite a bit of ground across the upper Midwest already, really kind of looking for good, safe ice. And I got to tell you, even though we got an early start to the onset of that cold weather, there's not a lot of good, safe, fishable ice out there. We've been across North Dakota, South Dakota, and a lot of Minnesota, spending a lot of time pulling sleds as we walk out looking for a good bite. And we have found some places to fish. We've seen some phenomenal sunsets, but to be honest with you, we really haven't come across a fantastic bite yet. We've caught a few fish, but nothing that really says this needs to be an In-Depth Outdoors episode. So what we're going to do today is we're going to feature some episodes we've shot in seasons past that I feel are really synonymous with good early ice bites. If you understand the concepts that we're going to share in these next segments, you're going to be ready to go to hit the ice and get in on these great ice bites.
StrikeMaster introduces the new Lithium 40 Volt. Everything you've ever wanted in an ice auger. With a 40% increase in cutting speed over the competition and up to 100 holes per charge, the Lithium 40 Volt has the power and stamina you need to hunt down your next big bite. And for a limited time, all Lithium 40 Volt augers come with a spare battery, free. The new Lithium 40 Volt, only from StrikeMaster.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
This winter, set a trap for your next trophy with iFish Pro. Ideal for all species, iFish Pro is an innovative fishing system that allows an angler to use their favorite rod and reel instead of trying to manage the fish hand over hand.
There's a flag right there.
Complete your ice fishing arsenal with iFish Pro, tactical ice gear that puts the fight back into tip-up fishing.
Look at that.
Find iFish Pro online at ifishpro.com or at your favorite sporting goods retailer.
Welcome back to In-Depth Outdoors. Now, what we're going to do in this segment is we're going to talk about early ice bites that you should be getting prepared for so you can get in on these hot bites where you fish. So at early ice, that's my favorite time of the year to fish crappies. Sure, they're fun midwinter, but there's something about fishing crappies in that first couple weeks of the season before all the four-wheeler and truck traffic gets out there that's really special to me. What I love about it is these fish are shallow. And what we're targeting is early ice crappies relating to really healthy weed growth in 12 to 15, 16 feet of water. Now, as you'll see in the footage, there's nobody around. We're the first guys out to this spot, and that's really key because this type of scenario exists everywhere crappies live if you've got healthy green vegetation. But by the time you start to get motorized traffic, the four-wheelers out there, the trucks out there for certainly, this bite will just dissolve, it'll evaporate, and these fish will move deeper and off these weed lines. But until that happens, you've got a couple weeks where if you're the first guy on the spot, you can enjoy some of the best crappie fishing of the season. There he is.
There you go.
This is such fun with a noodle rod. Andy, I think this right here basically embodies why so many people love to ice fish.
I can agree.
Fish on just about every drop. I mean, they're not 10-pound walleyes. They're very respectable crappies. This is what most people, grew up doing out there on the ice. Ooh, it's a nice crappie. Here he comes. Just slide him out there. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Real nice crappie. But like I was saying, I mean, this is why I love ice fishing. Using the electronics, fishing little baits like this with real fine tipped rods. This is a noodle from Tuned Up Customs. Just so much fun to catch fish like this. All right, see you later. And the best part is there's 2 or 3 more waiting.
Here comes something. There we go. What we got here? Nice crappie. He was actually in the weeds. There you go. He's up there. There he goes.
This type of pattern it's just a staple for ice fishermen. You get to this early ice stage and, very often you start to get some ice cover like this. And the weeds up real shallow, they'll start to die off, get almost like a brown, slimy look to them. And what you're looking for then is that outside deeper weed edge where the weeds are still in good shape. They'll be healthy and green, and you'll get these crappies and bluegills that hang real tight to that outside weed edge. And there's weeds that go all the way up to shore here, basically. But what we're seeing is on that outside edge in about 9-10 foot of water, that's where everything's hanging here. And the water doesn't get a lot deeper, 13-14 foot. But I mean, when you start thinking about bodies of water that you fish, I guarantee you there's scenarios just like this on your home body of water. And the great thing about them is they're usually in a bay, woohoo, which means they're not very far offshore. They're easily accessible by foot. Come here. For a part of the world that's not known for bluegills or crappies, there's a whole lot of them in this lake. Like I said earlier, typically people think about perch when you think of Webster, South Dakota. On this body of water, they have perch as well, but it's just loaded with crappies. And as we've mentioned, some really big bluegills as well.
There we go.
That one's giving you some scuffle.
He is quite the fighter here. I don't think he's as big as what his fight.
He's supercharged by the sun like the rest of us.
Not a bad crappie though.
Oh, not at all. Buddy, we've had a ton of great fish today.
I will take every one of them, especially
He's
getting
more
on
the
the ice.
norm, not the exception.
And it's not Thanksgiving yet, it's more ice fishing. Love it.
Man, if you're looking for a crappie dinner, this is the real deal here.
There he is.
All right, we gotta go.
This is my last fish.
Unless it's a 10+ inch gill, then we gotta stay.
Yeah, I have a feeling it is very silver and black, but it's a nice one.
If you're gonna end, you might as well end on a high note.
On a pretty nice fish. Get this guy unhooked, back in.
It's a nice crappie, bud.
Nice fish.
We've caught a bunch of them like that. It's not very often that you leave a bite because you kind of wore out on catching one size class of fish.
Not a bad problem to have, though.
A couple times a winter is about all you get.
I will take it.
All right, well, let's pack up and head on down the road.
Lithium Shuttle, only from Markham Technologies.
Okuma Fishing Tackle offers a complete lineup of reels for the die-hard ice angler. The Okuma Samar 10 and Inspira 20 are a perfect match with your favorite panfish or walleye ice fishing rod. Both feature a long stem handle that fits comfortably in a gloved hand. Cyclonic flow rotor technology that throws water off the reel to minimize ice buildup. And a drag system optimized for use in extreme conditions. Everywhere, every day, every fish. Okuma Fishing Tackle is inspired fishing.
From the first time you pick up a tuned-up custom rod, you'll know you're holding something special. A rod not mass-produced, but built one at a time by the hands of gifted craftsmen. Rods like the Precision, ice fishing's most versatile multi-species rod, or the Precision Noodle with a tip so sensitive you'll never fish a spring bobber again. And the Commander, the rod that's never met a big fish it couldn't best. Tuned-up custom rods. Ice rods handcrafted for you and the way you fish.
Proving yet again that the best never rest, Otter introduces Otter Thermal Tech, the proprietary full thermal shell found on every Otter shelter. Beginning with the all-new XT-H hub shelters and the all-new lightweight one-man XT hideout, on up to the ever-popular XT and XT Pro Series shelters that have earned a near-legendary reputation for unmatched toughness and durability. At Otter, we know stopping at good enough is way overrated. This ice season, see for yourself how the best just keep getting better.
Welcome back to In-Depth Outdoors. Now in this segment, we're going to talk about early ice walleye fishing on Mille Lacs Lake, one of the premier walleye fisheries in Minnesota and one of my favorite bodies of water to fish in the first couple weeks of the ice fishing season. Mille Lacs has got so much structure, and of course it's home to an incredible walleye population. What makes this destination one of my favorites is if you can get out to the structure along the north end of the lake early on in the ice fishing season. The fish are aggressive. You get to fish aggressively, and of course the size of the fish. There's very few bodies of water in Minnesota that can compare. Now the key to this one is you've got to be ready to go as soon as the resorts start allowing four-wheelers and snowmobiles out on the lake. There we go. This is no mudflat monster.
You got one though.
I got one.
That's good. Catching fish in high blue skies is a good thing.
Yeah, he's not very big. That walleye just snarfed that slab wrap.
I think that's one of the 2013 year class. Steve.
Yeah? All right.
They're just
little guy.
chock full of those fish right now.
Let that one go.
One of the nice things about Mille Lacs and the mud is you're not limited to short bite windows. They do really turn on, and I'm excited for this evening. But I think we're still going to scratch out some fish during the middle of the day here. Oh, I got a fish looking.
Oh, here's a good fish. Come on. Got him. Good fish, good fish. Slab rappy.
Oh, I'm going to get that slush out of there.
Oh,
nice.
Oh, big head shakes, Will.
Nice.
I don't think he's going to be a 28 or anything, but he is no puppy. Come on. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, he's just barely hooked. Oh, James.
I like it.
That is a nice fish.
Woo! You don't need minnows necessarily.
That was worth getting my hands wet for.
I appreciate that, Edison. I will return the favor, I promise. You know what we should do?
Yes.
Obviously, we got two fish on the ice, Will, in not a very long amount of time there. I think we should get some iFish pros out, get some of them big minnows down there, and see what else we can chase up out here. Obviously, there's fish roaming this flat.
Well, you know how I feel about putting out extra lines.
You are tip up, Will. See you later, Mama Walleye. Woo!
Oh, she wanted to get you wet?
She tried. I mean, that's a great deal there. I mean, in the span of just a few minutes, I've had, you know, a walleye that represents the future and one that pretty much here in the now. That was a nice fish. Fish on.
Get the iFish Pro.
Here we go. That's that little.
Is he there?
That's that little shiner minnow on there, isn't there?
It was just a small one.
Oh!
That isn't a small fish though, is it?
Feels good.
Good.
Yeah, it's not one of the 2013s we keep talking about.
That rod though, I get so throwing because it's got such a soft tip.
Yep, backbone towards the middle, towards the reel seat, but a real soft tip.
It's a fun way to catch them.
You wouldn't want a stiff rod for this, not in the iFish Pros. You want that...
Oh my gosh, it's a good fish. Oh, he's just right there.
Come on, fish, come on, fish.
Oh!
Yeah!
Look at that.
I think Mille Lacs is alive and doing fine.
Oh, there's no walleyes here. Oh, wow.
Yeah, right in the roof of the mouth.
Yeah. Got her.
Oh, beautiful fish in the... Oh, Fading sunlight here a little bit.
That's a gorgeous fish. That's what we came up here for.
Mid 20-inch fish. You know, we've had a couple like that. Hope we get a couple more.
Yeah, we've still got a couple hours.
Back you go. Grease him. Oh!
Not quite as good as I thought, but not bad. Oh,
buried rod tip, buddy.
It's getting feisty. He's pulled a little drag. This is better than I thought.
I'm gonna come running whether you tell me it's a little guy or a big one.
You got it?
I got him. Okay. I gave you a job. I ran all the way over here, right?
Oh, look at the head. Oh no.
I got
right there.
I got it. It's a nice fish. Come here.
Oh!
That's a easy one to grab, Will. The spoon is gone. You got a pliers? This is fun.
Look at that. Look at how golden this one is.
Nice.
That's a pretty fish. All right, so what we're doing here now is I just have had 2 iFish Pros go off up on top here. So I moved up into shallower water, and on my 3rd hole I found this fish. The spoon that I love fishing just as it gets dusk is a really large glow. It's got a lot of surface area. It's a real light flutter spoon. It's a 3/16 ounce DMC Tingler in Golden Shiner. What I love about this spoon versus a lot of others, it just has more surface area of glow. I've had better luck at dusk with this spoon than any other spoon. I'm gonna let this one go here and get back down because it's the witching hour. She gone. That was fun. Let's do it again.
I'll run over to help you with the fish anytime, Will.
Thank you. You are a true gentleman.
Flag, Will.
This is getting crazy.
Got him.
Ooh, a little drag.
Tuned up custom dead stick.
Yeah.
Here's the bobber stop.
That's not a bad fish. Oh, it is a little fish.
Choking on it.
Then that's what happens when your flag pops and they're gone, or you miss them. A lot of times it's the littler fish.
StrikeMaster introduces the new Lithium 40 volt. Everything you've ever wanted in an ice auger. With a 40% increase in cutting speed over the competition and up to 100 holes per charge, the Lithium 40 volt has the power and stamina you need to hunt down your next big bite. And for a limited time, all Lithium 40 volt augers come with a spare battery, free. The new Lithium 40 volt, only from StrikeMaster. Markham's new pocket-sized handheld underwater cameras, the Recon 5 and 5 Plus, use a 5-inch color display to deliver superior screen detail and employ a combination of dark water LED and infrared lighting to punch through the darkness. The Recon 5 Plus adds a built-in DVR and on-screen display for critical information, previously only available on full-sized underwater viewing systems. This winter, see what you've been missing with a Recon from Markham Technologies, the undisputed leader in underwater cameras.
Welcome back to In-Depth Outdoors. Now in this final segment, we're going to talk about early ice fishing on Upper Red Lake. And Upper Red Lake is one of those great bodies of water that is just jam-packed, full of walleyes, and it is one of the bodies of water that freezes the earliest almost every year here in Minnesota. Now this season, there's still some open water out there, so hopefully by the time this airs, guys will be able to get out there on four-wheelers and snowmobiles. At this time, when we're filming this today, the resorts still aren't allowing people out on their four-wheelers yet. But by the time this airs, we should be in good shape. So what you're gonna see in this segment really is the roadmap to being successful out there in Upper Red Lake. So pay attention, be one of the first out to some of the offshore structure, and you can have an absolute blast out there on Upper Red Lake. Got him. Mike, if walleyes were this crazy everywhere, nobody'd fish anything but. I don't think he's a giant. I got another one down there. I mean, that's one of the wonderful things about red. Yep, here he comes. Oh, Christmas walleye. That one's coming home with me. Here on Upper Red, you're gonna catch a lot of fish and you can take a few home with you. So I think it's 3 under 17 this year. And that one is a perfect eater in my book. So that one's gonna come home with us. That was a good start. Just punched this hole a couple minutes ago. Had one fish come in, fire up, hit the bait, and I missed it. Second guy, not so lucky. So what I'm fishing, number 7 slab wrap in UV green. Now out here on Upper Red, anybody ever tells you you have to be fishing one particular bait to catch fish, probably not steering you straight. The reason I chose this particular bait is it's an aggressive bait. It allows me to fish quick. I'm not gonna mess with live bait today, not for these fish. When you see them come in on your fish finders, these fish are absolutely heck bent on crushing whatever bait is down there. So I wouldn't be surprised today if we could catch fish on slab wraps, rip and wrap spoons. If you wanted to, you could drop down a minnow under a bobber, but I prefer to stay aggressive. Boom! We're gonna do this quick. I got another one there. Here we go. Nice eater. I've got 2, maybe 3 fish here. I'm gonna keep that fish, see if I can't fire down and get that other one.
Well, take your time.
You don't want to.
You don't need to get too in front of me on the lead fish count here.
You know, one of the things that really makes Red Lake attractive to anglers is the fish are so aggressive here. You could see how quickly I wanted to get back down for that buddy of his. These fish aren't very picky. Now you'll catch a run once in a while on a cold front where you have to slow down, but this is definitely a lake that rewards anglers that fish aggressively. So where we're fishing today is we're out on Center Bar. Now in case you're thinking I'm giving out some closely guarded secret, in about a week and a half there's going to be 500 wheelhouses out here. This is not uncharted territory. So what we've got going in our favor is we just got here before everybody else.
There he is. I didn't want to jinx myself and say anything, but there was like 3 of them down there.
Really? Isn't it weird how they'd go from a rip and wrap in the exact same color to a slab wrap? You couldn't catch them at all on the rip and wrap. Maybe the rattle was just too much.
Yeah, it was. It was almost mandatory there for a while. This morning, and now it's just something slightly more subtle in terms of sound. But I mean, it is a different action on this bait.
Fish. You know what's going on here, Mike? They're all in the shadow of the sled. A little better fish here, I'm gonna guess. Oh yeah.
Attaboy.
Oh yeah.
Nice one.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I think that one's bigger than the last 4 of mine combined.
I got another really good one. If you want to come over and drop right in this hole, Mike, while I get this one loose.
I'm not above that.
You're not above that? No, that's just good smarts right there.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful fish. We'll let that one go. That's definitely my biggest fish of the day. See you later. Here's one. Got him. With authority, Mr. Mike. With authority. Nice fish here, Mike.
There you go.
You know what? There's a certain, how do you want to put it? Attractiveness to just catching a whole bunch of walleyes in a day.
Yeah. Well, it all goes back to being a little kid and just wanting to set the hook nonstop.
Well, I got to do that today, that's for sure. No fussing around when you get to fish baits like that. That guy's lucky he got caught when he did. At the start of the day, he'd be going home with me, but as it is, he gets to swim away. Here he comes. There he is. Green UV, baby. Here comes. Oh, so many fish today. There's a nicer one. We've had ourselves a fish-filled day. All sizes. You know, Upper Red Lake, you'll see some people get some fish in the mid-20s once in a while, but anytime you hit that 20-inch mark here on Upper Red, that's a pretty solid fish. Obviously, numbers are not an issue here. One of my better fish here in the last 15 minutes or so, which usually isn't saying much, but up here on Upper Red, you can rip through a bunch of fish pretty quick. I think, Mike, you had a stretch there where you had about 7 fish in 5 minutes.
James, I think there's, well, I was gonna say, I think there's like 3 of them down there. I couldn't tell which one was actually coming from my bait. I think I officially have this slab wrap broke in for you.
It's called custom.
Hey, this has been an absolute blast. What an excellent destination to just come and knock the absolute dust off your walleye tackle.
Got him. Oh, it's just getting silly. Come here, you. A little bit nicer fish. They're coming in by 2s right now. Not a bad fish. Bloop. If ever anyone wanted to really get some confidence fishing these profile baits, these mineral profile baits, this is the place to do it. First 3-4 weeks of the season. Got him. Just nuts.
Here comes one.
That fish come up so hard and fast, and then he passed on it the first time.
There he is.
Second time, not so much. That's a nice fish. That one's getting their upper teens. Mike's got one, I've got one, everybody's got one. They don't give you a lot of time, I'm telling you. Once you kind of get the cadence of this down, keeping that bait about 1.5 feet off the bottom, and as soon as that fish comes in the screen, you gotta be going up the water column and they will hunt it down. Pretty cool deal. All right, that brings us to the end of today's episode, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now, this is not the traditional type of show we do, but I hope the information that we've shared really helps get people thinking about some of the preparation and the planning that they need to have in place to be ready to go at moment's notice to get in on what are some of the best bites of the season. Now, between when we're filming this and when the show will air, we got one more day of really warm weather. 50 degrees, rain, probably be a little bit of a mess. But after that, we start to see those temps that are gonna make the ice we need to get back out there and chase down the biggest fish and the hottest bites. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
For more info on the latest fish reports, gear recommendations, and hottest techniques, connect with us online at indepthoutdoors.com or follow us on Facebook at In Depth Outdoors. And if you enjoyed today's show, be sure to let our sponsors know.